Physically, I'm a dream. Emotionally, I'm a mess.
You might want to take a pause before you poke this bear. Hello!
I'm Hunter Hardon.
And I'm Papa the Bear, and welcome to The Real Housebears.
Podcast.
Oh!
Get it? Pod. Because we're bears.
And that's part of my tagline.
Exactly.
So that was good. That was good. I didn't know what you were going to do. I was like, I don't know if he's going to remember he needs to do that this week.
I know. It's been so long.
I know. It feels like we haven't done an episode in like a month.
I know. I feel like we have to reteach ourselves how to do it.
I know. And I feel like we owe our listeners an apology because we kind of threw it at you last minute. But y'all.
Sorry.
We're even thinking about having a second like bonus episode just to tell you all about all the exciting things that have been happening to us.
Yes, but we'll give you like a little just preview clip.
I will, everyone knows that Hunter just had a birthday.
I didn't get any cards from any of my followers.
Oh my.
I'm just kidding.
You should have gone to Mary's church. If you've gone to Mary's church, that's where the cards are.
Maybe I should just lecture them right here.
You should.
Y'all, I can't. I don't want to be that mean. That's horrible.
So anyway, this past week, we had a pre-arranged date to have drinks with Heather Gay and her business partner, Dre. So we got to go out, and we had a really lovely time. Heather was coming late because she was wrapping up filming with Jen Shaw.
Season 2.
Oh, I can't wait for season 2. So when Heather did arrive, she arrived with Jen Shaw in tow.
Queen Jen Shaw, like the Jen Shaw herself.
It was pretty amazing.
Amazing.
But we do have to cover 2 episodes in New Jersey this week, so I want to keep this as short as we can. But I just want to say, for those of you who have been listening from the beginning and you have heard Hunter like empathizing with Jen Shaw and her situation with her dad's death and the funeral and all of that, and talking about how maybe in the beginning Jen Shaw just wasn't really in touch with her feelings and didn't realize how hurt she was.
Didn't want to create a stir. She didn't want to be like, hey, I don't want you to go to work and you have to deal with me because I don't know how to deal with it right now myself.
Yeah, and got focused on other things, and then a time later realized, oh my gosh, I'm hurting.
I'm lashing out at people I love.
And I need to deal with this. Well, I just have to say that Hunter was spot on. He was spot on. They had a really great conversation because, Hunter lost his dad last year too. And they had a really wonderful conversation talking about their feelings and talking about their experience. And everything that Jen Shaw, that I guess we just didn't get to hear on camera,
no,
really was exactly what Hunter has been saying all of this season in her defense and, empathizing and sympathizing with her. So it was just a really special moment. It was a great birthday present from Heather Gay to bring Jen Shaw.
Yeah. But yeah, it was awesome. Like, I really clicked with Jen Shaw. It was really awesome just to sit there and talk to her about life and her dad and my dad and how the grief process was for us.
She was a lot of fun and exactly like she is on TV.
And she looked amazing too.
Oh, she looked beautiful.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love those like pants that look like they're like waterproof, like raincoat.
Yes, they were amazing.
And the fur. Oh, y'all, we have been fur attacked by 2 Housewives so far. First, it was the sweater from Heather Gay that got all over both of us.
Yes.
And then when we actually brought Jen Shaw
back to Heather Gay's
house, and when she got out of her car, we have hair all over our seat from her pink jacket.
Yes.
I'm like, it's like a badge of honor.
Yeah, we're going to have to start collecting housewife fur. Maybe.
I'm sure that jacket you wore the night with Heather Gay, I think there's still hair on it. That mo fur.
So it was a really special birthday. And you guys, that was just the tipping of all the other wonderful things that have happened. It's been a really great birthday season for Hunter, I will have to say.
Y'all, we went and hunted ghosts.
Yeah. We can't get into all of that right now.
We can't, but I just want to give them a hint of stuff that went on. Like, that's why we want to have like a bonus episode.
Now you're going to force our hand into a bonus episode, aren't you?
Change the subject.
Well, speaking of birthdays, so we're going to do both episode 5 and 6 of New Jersey this week.
Because we missed it. We're so sorry, y'all.
Yes.
I was too busy celebrating me.
Am I being self-absorbed this evening?
So that's a really easy segue, though, because episode 5, Kiss My Peach, starts off with Joe Gorga's birthday.
Yes.
At the Jersey Shore. The 2 episodes in a row, all them at the Jersey Shore. And the hot men with their shirts off and the ladies wearing tiny bikinis. It's all good
It's
stuff.
so amazing how much the men are a part of this show.
I love it. Absolutely love it. But, you know, it's Joe's birthday, but his kids are kind of giving him a hard time, especially little Joey.
I know. He's like, oh, wait. Oh, I love you, too.
Yeah. Oh, it's your birthday? I'm sorry. I need to make a pina colada.
Yeah. I need to make a peanut colada for Mama.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think that's what kids are for.
I mean, you've done it before.
Yeah, you got to teach kids how to make your cocktails and how to make your favorite snacks.
Yes. Peanut butter and Ritz crackers.
Yes. But, you know, you're the baby of the family, so your sisters can probably relate to Joe and Melissa's other kids.
Oh, yeah. They're like, you favor him too much. And she's like, no, I don't. No, he's the baby. Here you go, my little snuggle. And I'm like, I was the same way as that kid. Like, I would roll my eyes and walk away before she could give me a kiss. But now I'm just like, oh, I know. I'm the favorite.
So then Joe and Melissa talk about that uncomfortable rebirthday party.
Oh, gosh. Yes.
To be honest with you, once we came back and revisited this to prepare for today, I was like, oh, I had kind of put that horrible birthday party out of my mind. That really uncomfortable birthday party.
It was so uncomfortable. I did not enjoy that second birthday party at all because I figured it was all about what Teresa had said.
Did you notice, though, that when Joe is sitting there in the sun, he is like so silver, like his beard and
he's getting older.
He looks really handsome. But Joe agrees to talk to Teresa to see if he can get things to mend with Jackie.
Yeah, he's like, you need to stand up and do what's right.
That's
Good luck.
brave. That's brave. That's brave.
If anybody could do it, it's Joe.
That's my sister.
But still, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, and there's been seasons when he couldn't talk to her. So, I mean, who wants to have another season like that? But they're going to go out to the birthday dinner tonight with all the Zios and the Zias. I mean, they speak English 99.5% of the time, but all of them, it's always the Zio and the Zia.
Yep.
And the no.
No,
yes. And every now and then will say some sort of Italian dish with an Italian accent.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
half of it I don't understand.
I mean, I know that they do. I know that Teresa and Joe at least know how to speak Italian because their parents did.
I've heard Joe speak Italian.
Yeah,
remember?
I don't know about. Oh yeah, in the car. But I don't know about Melissa. I guess she understood Joe in the car, so I guess she does too.
I mean, keywords. I would definitely understand keywords.
And you know, I just love how hot Joe still finds Melissa.
You still got it. Look at you.
Joe reminds me so much, like that relationship is our relationship. Like we have recorded so many scenes with Joe and Melissa of him like fondling her and like she's trying to have simple, normal, everyday conversations and she can't.
Listen, you don't understand. Like, have you seen you?
Yes.
You are so hot
there
that it's hard to not want to touch it.
And I would like to know if he touches you.
I'm like Lisa Barlow. Can I touch it? Can I touch
Can
it?
I touch that?
I mean, listen, and I think that Joe looks at Melissa the same way. He's like, God, she's so hot. I just want to touch it.
I love it, but who talks that way? Like, I love it too, but like, can I have a normal conversation? Can I go to the kitchen without being fondled on the way there?
Sometimes.
When you're not around, I do, but when I'm there, you're like always grabbing my butt, and you're like telling me like, why are your pants on?
It stresses me out when men have a conversation.
No. Again.
But it makes me, their relationship, it's so sweet. And like this part where Joe, it's totally you. He's just like, I haven't seen lingerie in a long time. Like, I want to see you in lingerie. And she's like, no. And he's like, pouty face. He's like, come on, it's my birthday. I'm like, that is you. That is such a you thing. But it's my birthday. That's all I really want.
Oh, kinda, yeah.
Can't talk to you about anything. It just turns into sexuality.
Well.
Had to give the guy 2 blowjobs this week.
Then we move over to Paramus, which is Jennifer. I have a hard time saying Jennifer. Just Jennifer. It's Jennifer Aiden. Yeah, it's like
Jennifer
Jen
Aiden.
Shaw, Heather Gay, all of them. Jennifer Aiden. Who has a son who doesn't like for the different foods on his plate to touch. Do you know anybody like that?
I've met so many people like
Yeah.
this where they have it, it's so bad that they went and got the like school lunch plates where it's separated already so they could make sure food does not
Yeah.
touch anything else.
I have a cousin. She's an adult with 2 kids, and she still eats out of like divided.
Oh yeah, a pea touched mashed potatoes, it's over for them.
Unacceptable.
That's totally the opposite of me. I love every bite of food in one spoonful or forkful. Like every single
Yeah.
bite from the meal.
Yeah, mix it all together.
Meat, mashed potatoes, green beans, rice, whatever. I don't care.
Then Jennifer's sister shows up, and there's just a lot of kids around the table.
Demanding things.
Complaining, being needy. I was like...
I can't have kids.
It was a really uncomfortable, like, montage of horrible sounds to me. It was like that Dumb and Dumber, and he's like, you want to hear the most annoying sound?
Oh, my gosh.
Play this voice sound reel of these kids complaining.
Now I know why my mom always said she was going to drown us. I'm going to drown you kids.
And then I love how, Jennifer's doing all the work. She's being like a really good, what you would consider a house mom, housewife to be.
Barbecuing and grilling?
Yes.
Grilling is a man's job.
In the beginning of her being on the show, she really gave off a vibe of like, I'm a spoiled rich girl. But now you can see how big family really is. And you see, in her heritage, family is always such a big thing. So she's really embracing that. So I enjoy seeing that side of her. But I like how her sister's like, maybe you should try to get the kids to help. And she's like, yeah, they help. Hey, so-and-so, will you help? And he's like, yeah, Mom, and walks right on inside.
And like they're talking about Turkey, like from where they're from. And I guess her brother is still in Turkey.
Well, he moved to Turkey and got married and had a child.
There.
Right.
That's so awesome. But it sucks to have family so far away. Like you rarely ever get a chance to meet them or see them.
And what sucks even more is having a guilt trip of going if you bring one parent over the other one because they can't coexist.
And that's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate.
This parent situation, they're so up in age. I don't know. It's hard for me to understand what is worth it to be upset about when you're 85 years old. I mean, what are you fighting about?
I guess you just get on each other's nerves. Little things.
I'm sure, but
and plus they
Lord.
had an arranged marriage.
Yeah, but at 85, I'm like, we're probably not having sex anymore. If we are, not much. And
well, I would be like, you are breathing too damn loud in that living room. Shut up!
But, it didn't happen for us during COVID. I guess we're still young.
we're still good. We'll see in like 20 years.
But yeah, I feel really bad for all the family. And I to be honest with you, I understand that the mom is kind of the villain in the situation. She's been difficult since the beginning, it seems.
If I needed to take sides from what I've seen, I would have gone with the father's side because he seems so meek, and it just seems like she's so bossy and demanding that she would get irritated really easily. You could see it with her daughter. She gets really irritated with her daughter easily too.
Yeah. Well, Jennifer says that the kids aren't choosing sides, but they're choosing sides. Everyone is clearly on the dad's side.
It's family. Family. Like when they're, like I know my family, like who's who in the family and what they're like.
It just makes me feel, even though, again, she is kind of the villain, I feel bad for her because she is also up in age and now she's alone and it seems like her kids don't even want to be around her.
Yeah.
So that's rough. But doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
Now we go on to Dolores' house.
She invites David over for dinner, and then coincidentally, Frank calls.
No, she calls Dave. No answer. She calls Frank, and he answers.
Oh,
she called
I thought
him
Frank called him.
No, she called him right after Frank, and it's just Frank is adorable in glasses.
Yes, he is. He is.
Frank is like, I'm really into Frank. These last two, especially after the next episode, like he turns me on. Like he's hot.
They just talk like husband and wife about
the
appliances.
They talk like a healthy married couple.
Yes,
I wrote that down.
It's such a shame. It's such a shame. Dolores is just a little bit guarded, Mm-hmm. But when David shows up, surprise, he's in a good mood.
Yeah.
Like he's smiling. Well, for a while at least.
Well, he laughs, and Dolores is like, what are you laughing at? Why are you laughing at me?
But she's excited about the new refrigerator.
She doesn't have a water dispenser? Okay, I'll just talk about this. I know the pain of not having a water dispenser or an ice machine.
Oh, well, listen, me without an ice machine is rough.
I don't know how I grew up without an ice machine or water in my fridge. But now that I've had it once in my life, I can't go back.
We are so spoiled.
It's so
life is so difficult for us without an ice machine.
Oh my God.
But the struggle was real because I drink way more soda than I should.
And alcohol.
And a lot of those include alcohol. So I go through a lot of ice.
So she got this house built to her liking, but she doesn't move in, and now she's rebuilding her home that she's already in.
I mean,
I just don't think she wants any. I mean, her life's kind of perfect right now with Frank. I don't know why she's even dating.
Absolutely.
Except for sex.
Well, she said he wasn't that good at that either.
God, what are you doing, girl?
But, again, and they were going to get engaged. Here's what it is. She's a little bit bitter that she's not engaged.
Yes.
But she's also enjoying the fact that she's not engaged. She gets a lot of leverage now that she's not engaged.
I mean, she's got it perfect right now.
Yeah, she's enjoying a celebrity that she gets invited to fancy events and fancy parties and things like that. And David can't go and doesn't want to go, it seems. So why not? I mean, it sounds like she's got it going on to me.
And people are like upset that like David doesn't go with her to any of these events. And granted, he has a job that keeps him from that. But I also think David doesn't think much of it because she's got Frank to go with. Right. She's not alone.
Yeah.
He's like, go with your friend.
Yeah.
And he took care of Frank, so he's not intimidated by him. Like, I don't know. It's all just really funny. I just want her and Frank just to stay together and live in the same house.
Please.
I just like it.
Or if David and Dolores get married, the three of them have to live together.
Oh, please.
And then have their own spinoff.
Have an own spinoff, like a Big Brother type of thing.
Oh my God, could we only? Speaking of, let's move over to the restaurant called Meat. Actually, no. Before we get to the meat, we need to finish off that I didn't like that the conversation where, well, you're never around. Yeah, but when I am around, you're preoccupied. I feel like that's a very common conversation in a lot of relationships, especially on TV. We hear that same exact.
Well,
dialogue.
you're too busy when we're together anyway, so why am I going to come around?
Yeah. But they make a pact that he will be around more she will be around more as long as he appreciates her being around. So now let's get to the meat.
Hot meat coming through.
Joe might already be drunk, according to Zia Kim.
There's a lot of unfamiliar faces at this party right away.
There's another Joe.
There's a million Joes there.
There are 18 Joes.
Joe A, Joe Z, Joe B.
Joey. Yo. They debate on whether to wait for Teresa, but she's always late. I didn't know that about her. That's a pretty common theme in Housewives, too. But when Teresa shows up, she does look good.
She does. She looks really
great. Good. Get her vodka.
Vodka.
Every single one of them here, they take the D out.
Vodka.
I want my vodka.
Vodka, wine, vodka.
Where's my vodka?
Okay, now we're going to get into pineapples.
And pineapple is going to remain in at least the next episode.
It is a main character for these next two episodes.
Yes, it is. It is. Oddly enough, this is called Kiss My Peach.
Yeah.
It should be like Cork My Pineapple or something.
Okay, but have you heard that before? That certain foods will make your
lady parts
and male parts.
Yeah, I have heard that. Yes, I've heard it for men.
I've heard it from pineapple, but I haven't heard it for women.
I had not heard it for women, but I have heard it for men. Yes.
Yeah. So when she was talking about this, I'm like, I totally have heard about this, but I've never tested the theory out.
When I didn't realize that you haven't tested the theory out. Let's test that theory later.
I want to have like a couple people, like a couple of the Joes in line. You eat pineapple, you eat coconut. You eat some mango. Let's see what we're gonna. Let's taste test. This is a Pepsi Coke challenge.
You are a dirty dog.
He's a dirty, dirty dog.
This is a family podcast.
I don't know what makes us think this is a family podcast.
I think because we don't cuss.
Melissa gives a toast. Teresa wants pineapple with her vodka.
Vodka?
Oh, peach juice. I didn't know that about peach juice. That was another one.
Oh, peach juice. Yeah. Well, I mean, peach juice.
I like. Oh, yeah. Since you said it that way, now I really understand what you mean.
Well, I was going to say, because they call things down there peaches and like butts of peach.
True,
well, peach juice.
Oh my gosh.
Ew, this is disgusting.
Teresa is as horny as we seem to be.
My God. I guess. I didn't realize I was. Listen, Frank has been turning me on lately.
I'm there because I love both of you.
I know. And Joe Gorga. I mean,
Well,
but
Joe's always.
Listen.
Come on, bro.
What Joe's like, our dad would be so ashamed of you if you were alive.
Again, Teresa wants her dead parents to be proud of her sex life. She's like, he'll give me a high five. And Joe's like, hell no.
And then we found out that Teresa wasn't even allowed to have a boyfriend until she was 18.
That's the life of Italian women.
And that's going to be, it would have been Antonia's life if it were completely up to Joe.
Oh my gosh. She'd be locked in a tower.
Melissa Gorga's Birds and the Beanstalk was one of the cringiest yet funniest things I've ever heard.
They're like, tell us what you're going to say. I'm like, oh, don't put her on the spot like that, guys.
I wouldn't know if he touches you.
Joe, Lizzie throws everything. He just throws his head back. He's like, nah, I can't do
He
this.
almost had a cardiac arrest at his birthday party. And bless his, you cannot talk in front of Joe Gorga about anyone even thinking about Antonia.
Or them even growing up.
Yeah. Teresa decided that she invites everyone to an end of summer pool party to which she's going to invite the pool boy.
I don't even know this guy's name. I just keep saying pool boy.
I don't remember his name either. I do remember that when Joe is talking about him in the next episode, he says his name, but I don't even remember what it is.
I have no clue. It's just pool boy.
Just go with pool boy. Why not?
I know.
And then he tells Teresa to invite Jackie and to own her part. I was like, don't tell her that. Don't tell her that. Yes. And at first she's like, no, I'm not going to do it. But Joe is like, really, please, it's my birthday.
Come on, it's my birthday.
So she agrees, but she's like, only, Melissa, I need you to do it for me. Take this, Melissa, do it.
She's not going to ever see her errors.
So it seems as if this was like a big group text. And so Teresa thought that she was making quite a grand gesture.
Even though she was saying horrible things while Melissa was writing it out.
Yes, of course. But then Teresa tells Melissa and Joe that she told Michelle that Michelle's not selling the house, which was a good sister part, you know. Mm-hmm. I think that Joe probably was really relieved to hear that.
Yeah, because I feel like he feels kind of betrayed by her because of what her ex-husband said about Joe, and she didn't retaliate back at him.
And just all of the rumors about his wife that Teresa spread over the years and everything else. I mean... let's move over to Margaret. And Margaret will drink an iced coffee.
Ever since you say that, now I notice how much iced coffee is drank.
Seriously, Margaret in particular, she might not drink alcohol, but she's got an iced coffee addiction.
And again, Margaret is gorgeous with little to no makeup on.
I've always had the social areola.
Yeah, I agree.
I love her with no makeup. Like
she
this,
looks so
this
young.
so simple look makes.
Yeah,
I feel like when
soft.
she puts too much makeup on, it makes her look older.
I agree.
Oh, gosh.
Emily, she's talking to Marlene, and then Emily shows up, who is the ghost writer.
The ghost writer. Ooh, to write the book.
So I really, I'm sure a lot of people are kind of turning the nose up or turning the nose down, whatever the term is, to Margaret about, giving in to
the weird
sexuality.
sexual stuff.
Yeah. But you know what? It's nothing that wasn't like in the movies in the 80s. It wasn't anything that you didn't already assume happened.
That's just what you had to do to survive in those times, to be honest. Not even survive, but just to get ahead. It's bull crap.
It is, absolutely. But to people who might be, snubbing her about that, I'm like, she was one of millions. It's not that big. And I said it's a big deal, but not a big deal that Margaret in particular did it.
And I still use my sexuality to get what I want.
Absolutely.
I'm known for my ass and my eyes.
Yes, you do. It was really sweet hearing Margaret talk about Joe. I always pronounced it Benino. I thought the G was kind of like silent for in a lot of Italian words. But Jennifer Aiden later says Benigno or something like that.
I can't pronounce half of them.
I'm just going to say Benino. And if I'm wrong, someone is welcome to correct me. I will be glad to fix that. Or maybe you like me to mispronounce it. Sometimes people like that too. But it was really sweet seeing her talk about him and get emotional.
I liked how Margaret was talking about her past relationship, and she says, I hope this gives people hope that it doesn't matter how old you are, that you could find somebody to treat you the way you need to be treated. And sometimes that takes a long time to figure out how you want to be treated.
It took me till almost 50.
Well,
And I'm still looking for someone who'll treat me the way that I want to be treated.
listen, you're married to me now. It's over.
Honey, I signed the papers on purpose. I signed those papers on purpose. It's nice to see that Teresa and Joe's divorce is so easy.
Me too, because everyone was really worried that it was going to get really ugly, but it makes so much sense. Like, Italians mean family, and if he would have attacked their mother, the daughters would have hated him.
He would be thinking about our daughters.
Yeah.
And, like, is he ever going to have a relationship with his daughters when he lives so far away?
Right.
If they hate him?
Do what you can. Do what you can.
But she paid for all of his
Restitution. Yeah.
So
Well, I know. I was like, you go, girl. You make that coin.
make that coin.
She looks amazing in her bathing suit.
Yes.
Just like, you look good for an old lady. You look all right for an old lady. And I just really enjoyed a moment watching Melissa Gorga eat a banana.
Who talks like that?
Melissa Gorga's sexy. There was one scene when she was running away in like her bathing suit or something, and like she had a top on, and I was like, she is just tight.
Yeah.
All over. And she had a one-piece bathing suit. I was like, you look phenomenal.
Yeah, she did. Absolutely. And then Margaret picking out Joe's olive outfit, who he totally gets called out for it later.
Oh my, and she tells him like why it matches.
Yes.
This brings out the pimento.
To be honest with you, I thought it was a really, really cute outfit, but it looked like it was on the wrong human being.
Well, sometimes you just can't help that.
Yes. I like also moving. Oh, we got Frank and Dolores. Dolores picking out a skimpy outfit.
Mm-hmm. We forgot Joe was going to tap that before he went to the pool party because he's talking to Melissa on the phone, and she's trying again to have a normal human conversation, and he says, well, I'm working for you, baby, and then, are you going to be wearing a swimsuit when I get home? You know, I'm going to hit that before we let out. And she's just like, who talks like this? I can't talk to you about anything. And that's our relationship.
I don't
right
understand what's wrong with that.
I know you don't.
What's the problem?
I love that Jennifer also, she kind of like sets the foreshadowing for her later on because she's like, I just want to let loose tonight.
Yeah.
I just want to let loose tonight.
Maybe Bill shouldn't arrive late. He might need to get there to keep control. It's cute watching Olivia, like, she's growing up and she wants to be on camera. Mm-hmm. And she wants to do the things that her glamorous mother is doing.
Yep. Did you see the makeup she was wearing, the lipstick? I was like, dang.
You better work, Olivia. And then skip to a montage of everyone talking about Michelle and her husband coming
the other plot that's in this storyline.
Yeah, and an easily resolved plot, thank the Lord. But Frank's like, I don't even know why Teresa invited them, but come on, Frank, you know Teresa.
You know Teresa. Come on, you know Teresa.
You know, this pool is brand new. She just got it like last season.
Hey, break it in.
Yeah, so Joe and Melissa show up first. Melissa in that like pink bathing suit is a vision.
And charcuterie boards everywhere.
Charcuterie.
I haven't seen so many charcuterie boards. I was like writing it down. I'm like, God, is this how I spell it? And then auto-corrected. I'm like, oh, charcuterie.
Done.
I can barely pronounce it.
S-T-U.
Q, silent Q.
I like that Teresa asked all the women to wear their thong bathing
And
suits.
she's inspecting them as they come in. She's like, strip search, show me.
But listen, Gorgas want to have a good time. Gorgas like to have a good
If it's
time.
not one Gorga getting you drunk, it's the next
Absolutely
Gorga getting you
it
trashed.
is. Absolutely it is.
And Jennifer shows up to the party. I'm already sick knowing what's going to happen to her later on. Just from the previews, like, I hate being that trashed where you're like, the best position for me is face down on the cement floor.
Yeah, that's not good. And then Melissa told Teresa about the whole olive branch. God. So she's like, I was talking to Jackie. I was like, why did you tell her this? But she's like, I was talking to Jackie. I was telling her that, you know, you were offering an olive branch by inviting her here. But Jackie wasn't buying that it was an olive branch, and she said to stick the olive branch up your ass. I'm like, Melissa, why? Well, she said it on camera, so it was going to come up.
I know, but geez, they're trying to squash this thing. And then here we go with the new cast member, Pineapple. Yes. Teresa comes back with tons of pineapple in her hand.
You know what? Listen, I want to get my peach kiss.
Yes, but not until after everyone's played with Dolores' butt.
her brand new butt.
Dolores she's had her butt played with. Actually, Dolores has had her butt played with a few times. Margaret's been played with, her boobs have been played with a few times.
Her top has been pulled down multiple times. Everyone's getting molested.
And then after the pineapple, I love that Joe and Frank talking about it.
Okay, this is like two children finding out how babies are made or something and giggling about it because they're so childish.
See, to me, it was just like two old men going, hey, I heard that you could eat pineapple and it would change the way you tasted down there.
Not me. I heard. So really, does it really happen? You can change your taste down there?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And they just start giggling about it. It's so funny. I love their relationship. Just do it already, you guys.
Right?
I bend you over the kitchen counter.
And then Margaret and Joe show up in his Olive costume.
Yes, and he's getting called out for being dressed.
And then my blood boiled when Teresa said, I'm so glad that Jackie's not here.
I was like, maybe we'll get through this without one of those where Jackie's not here. This is the best party.
And then she's talking about how she doesn't want it to be another situation like it was at Lake George where everyone's talking about Jackie all weekend. I'm like, then why did you just say that?
I can't.
But then Dolores, I love her so much. But she's getting an aware for breast cancer awareness.
Good job.
She's inviting everyone to kind of like an after party. Mm-hmm. But Teresa can't go because she'll be at a soccer tournament. At first I was like, is she making this up?
I know, I thought too that she's making it up, but I don't think she is.
No, she's not. But Dolores was, everyone was disappointed, to be honest with you, because they're like, we really don't want this to drag out longer. We really want to just either fix it or end it somehow.
And at one point she's like, yay, this is going to get dragged the F out.
Yes. And then switch over to the boys, or the men. Sorry, the boys.
The boys.
Yeah, there it is. First of all, Frank has had a fresh arm pump. Did you see?
Oh, yeah, I've been checking out his guns this entire time.
Well,
I
in this situation, this moment in particular, his guns are huge and his veins are popping
out.
Yeah. And Joe Gorga's veins are full of alcohol.
Pure alcohol.
God, I want to hang out with a Gorga.
That's.
And then Michelle and husband John show up.
And the ladies seem like they're all foaming out the mouth. At least Melissa, for sure.
It was like a moment of like peacock feathers and chest pumping.
Yes.
And it was like this moment of like preparing for battle. And they're like, this could get ugly real fast.
But you know what? Right away, Joe asked John to talk. Like, there's no ramp up, no, hey, how you doing? No, nothing. It's just, boom, come talk to me. Because Joe, he says, I like nothing more than to confront somebody.
Yeah.
I don't like to confront people.
Well, I think Joe just likes nothing more than to squash it.
Yeah. He doesn't want to fight. Well, I mean, he could, but he doesn't want to fight.
I wonder why it stresses Melissa Gorga when men have a conversation.
It stresses me out. It's the Italian men. They're like hot-blooded.
Yeah, she's afraid it'll go to blows.
Yes.
But, I love that they squashed it quickly.
Very quickly. It was easy.
To be honest with you, I wasn't really interested too much in that drama, so I'm glad that it was. Those editors have really tricked us a lot this season. But I'm glad that it was short. But while the men are having their thing, Melissa's like, I ain't in the mood for no Michelle.
No, she's like, she's wants to talk to her now. And so now both of the Gorgas and that family are talking to another wife and husband.
But again, Michelle's like, sorry, I shouldn't have said it there. You're right.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's how things are squashed in real life.
I'm finally getting my wishes. People.
But do you enjoy it?
Sometimes.
Don't you wish that she's like,
right.
you know what?
Well, okay.
You're a B word. Oh, no, you're a B word. And then they push each other in the brand new pool. And they fight, and then the husbands have to fight each other. And then all of a sudden all these clothes and pants get ripped off. And it's just like crazy.
You're right. I would have much rather that.
Wildness. Insaneness.
You're right. Oh, my Lord.
I'm so sick of drama.
So Bill finally shows up, and I wonder how many shots of tequila Jennifer Aiden is in.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to say, because the camera hasn't been focused on Jennifer during this party, so I have no idea how drunk she is yet until Bill gets there. And
she's on cloud 9. She's on cloud 9.
I love drunk people because when they've had a lot of shots, they lie about how many shots they've had. Because she's like, I've had like 2 or 7 shots.
He's like, how many shots have you had? She said, I've had a tequila drink.
Yes, see? It's like, honey. But they were playing tequila pong. Was there tequila in all those beer pong drinks? When they were playing beer pong in the water? Okay, that's
she was shooting all of them.
That's too much. That's too much. Because, like when you're in water and you're playing beer pong or anything like that, the adrenaline of doing it is a lot. Once you step away from the game and you get into real life, you realize how drunk you are. It's like when you're sitting down drinking the whole time and then the second you stand up, you realize how drunk you are.
Oh, yeah. It's happened to me. I fell down some stairs because of it.
You're an alcoholic and you need help.
But Jennifer makes the executive decision not to drink anymore.
And that's another thing what I love about drunk people. When they are trash, they're like, this is my last drink ever, people. People forever.
And I also love watching Joe just watch Teresa in dismay. He's like, who is this person? She's having everybody wear thongs. She's playing tequila pong.
She's making everybody eat pineapple because it's going to make you taste better.
What she's doing is being a female Gorga.
Oh!
She's being a female
my gosh,
Gorga.
She's a female Gorga.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. A single female Gorga. Yes. They are all monsters.
They're all Scorpios.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. But you know what? The pool boy shows up, and I bet he can already smell the pineapple in the air.
He's like,
Teresa's here.
Oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yep. Teresa's like within a 30-foot distance right now. 30-foot radius.
I call her Tropicana. Everyone else calls her Teresa. I call her Tropicana.
That's 100% juice right there.
Oh, my God.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Well, let's get back to Jennifer Aiden because it's this.
Before we get into Jennifer Aiden. Okay, this John guy, Michelle's husband.
Okay, yeah.
His hair on his cheeks
I didn't know.
Go all the way up to his eyeball.
I didn't
his
know
cheek.
this.
A lot of times guys won't shave the upper part of their cheek down to their beard. He let it grow out, and it's legit all the a centimeter from his eyeball.
Like a wolf man.
Yeah, he's like a wolf man. I'm like, you gotta trim that down just a little bit.
Trim that down, John. So Jennifer posts about 100 shots, is falling over. Margaret is terrified. But I don't know if you know this. You know,
God.
when Margaret was younger, her mother had a problem with drugs and alcohol, and she almost fell off a balcony or something.
Yeah, the flashback, they talked about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I understand Margaret's PTSD with that. But finally, I'm like, where's Bill? And it turns out he's just a few feet away watching.
He's in the background, just watching. He's just like,
But he finally comes over and he picks her up.
I love that.
What
It
a
was
good
so
man.
sweet. And she's just like, it's so hot. It's just so hot out here, and it's so hot.
And I love how much these guys have each other's backs. These guys love each other.
This part made me smile so big because Bill can't get mad at Jennifer Aiden for getting so drunk that all the men have to carry her out. Flashback to 2019 of them carrying him out over their shoulder because he's so trash, hitting his head against the side of the door while pulling him out and getting him to bed. Oh my gosh. And if Jennifer was not there that night when they brought Bill, they would have stripped him and taken funny pictures with him.
Absolutely.
They would have teabagged him and stuff and took a ton of pictures. Thank God for Jennifer Aiden was there. And who knows, those men, they're wild, rambunctious homeboys,
and they hang out
love
off camera.
each other.
They hang out off camera.
They
They're
love
good
each other.
Friends.
They care about each other so much. They're like, oh, let's all go out and help carry them.
So they get Jennifer in the car, and she passes out within moments.
She is down for the count within seconds. She's talking about, and then starts talking again, and then she's out, completely out.
And it's drive off, and it sounds as if maybe she's vomiting. We don't get to find out because they drive off into the pukey sunset. Well, let's drive off into our own set for just a moment. Let's go refill our beverages.
Let's take a quick break.
And then we'll come back and talk about episode 6.
It's gonna be a bloodbath tonight.
All right, bye.
We'd love to give a shout out to our sponsor, Anchor Podcasts.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free.
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more.
You can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place.
Anchor is where we started with our podcast, and it's been really great for us, and that's how you're able to hear us on all the different streaming platforms.
We love it. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Hello.
Welcome back. I'm just laughing because I forgot that this next episode is called Dildos Down the Shore.
I mean, what if I got a fake penis?
Row, row, row your dildo
Gently down
the shore.
the hole.
Unacceptable!
Oh, no.
It's family podcast. God. Anyways, I would like to say something real quick. If anybody's listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please hit pause right after I'm done with this little speech and go to our page and please give us a 5-star rating and write out a nice little review because we really rely on that stuff. So it is much appreciated. So I just wanted to say that real quick. Oh, and also like anywhere you could like review or rate us, please give us like an outstanding review.
I love both of you.
5-star, 2 thumbs up. All right, let's get to dildos down the shore.
Down the shore. So we start off just kind of going from home to home.
Yep.
Jackie's house. Her son, I just call him Evan Jr. because he looks so much like Evan. I haven't even bothered to learn his name. He just looks like a little tiny Evan.
Yeah.
But do you remember being a teenager and just running your holes into your shoes?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when I saw that part, I was like, oh, childhood. And also your jeans
Yes.
right away would have knee holes in them, like
And
right away.
and every time for some reason your parents are like, I just bought you those shoes.
You're like, yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
And then the Gorgas hanging out by the pool, throwing the football, and then we finally get to Jennifer Aiden to see how it all turned out.
And I already know because she's mopping up the foyer.
Yeah, I was like, does Jennifer do her own mopping? I'm like, I guess in this situation.
This
she
situation.
does.
Because that's what I said. I was like, that's weird. Jennifer mopping. Oh.
You know what I love about it, though, is like, she doesn't really have regrets.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
No.
She's like, I had a great time. I did throw up everywhere.
I don't remember much of it.
But I'm like, you go, girl. I mean, you weren't mean to anybody. You didn't hurt anybody.
No, she wasn't mean, angry.
I can't, but how much do you think it cost to get that Ferrari cleaned?
Because she said she did throw up, not only in the Ferrari, but she also threw up in the foyer. And her saying that Bill had to like wash all the throw up out of her hair while she's in fetal position in the shower. I'm like, I've been that drunk maybe 1 or 2 times in my life, and that's the worst time of your life. You just want to die. You're like, just leave me in here and drown me.
So she's learned her lesson. Once the room starts moving on its own, that's when you stop drinking.
That's when you stop drinking.
That's a good lesson to
And did
learn.
you hear her say, out damn spot?
I didn't hear that.
Yes,
That's
such
cute.
what Shakespeare play with Hamlet.
Yeah, she is so different. I'm just really enjoying her this season. I can't say it enough.
Yeah, the earlier seasons that I've seen, I hated her so much.
Move over to Frank and Dolores' house where they're kind of living out the good old days.
Where you just bend them right over the counter right then and there.
That's what I do.
Oh my God. But Frank, man, look, I wrote right here, Frank's guns are huge.
Yeah.
His arms are enormous.
I like he's like, back in the day, we had to worry if Frankie would come in the room. Now we have to worry about walking in on Frankie.
This isn't fair to the children of Italians because the women, they aren't even allowed to think about sex until they're 30.
Yeah.
The men, they're like, yeah, we swap stories about girls that we've had.
And Frankie's like, no, just Dad tells me stories. I don't know.
Frankie is like, no.
But
Mom,
Frankie
trust
is
me.
such a respectful guy.
He
He
is.
probably does talk those stories with Frank, but he would never let his mom even think that he's having premarital sex.
Yeah, and I think he's also hyper focused on his education.
Yeah.
I think he's because
He
there's
seems
one
to
part
have his stuff
he was
together.
talking to his sister or something about how she feels like the the dumbest person at the school right now, and she's surrounded by these intellectuals, and he's like, that's good. That's what makes you better.
Yeah.
Because you're around those types of people. I'm like, God, Frankie.
I
whatever
like him.
girl gets Frankie, she's really lucky.
I was kind of hoping it would be Gia, but
God, what a cute, what if like in like 15 years it happens?
yeah.
Like that's
Imagine
that'll
that
make me
children.
cry.
You know, beautiful
The
people.
children.
Well, beautiful people either have gorgeous children or the opposite.
Yes. Luckily, my parents were gorgeous.
Who's more beautiful? Be honest, me.
And it worked.
It worked.
So we barely know Gabby. She's had.
I didn't know they had a daughter.
Yeah, she's just had a fraction of screen time since Dolores has been on the show. But I love how much Gabby loves dogs.
Did you all those? I thought she was a dog walker at first.
No, those are
Or I thought it was a dog
yeah,
walker.
I
at
did
first.
too. I did too. But you know what? I would be that way if I could.
Those kids have such great heads on their shoulders. Like,
Yeah.
man, oh gosh.
So move over to Teresa's house. All the girls are cooking practically.
Making breakfast, popping pimples, talking about massages.
All right, so I love to pop a pimple just as much as the next person.
I'm not doing it on camera.
That's exactly what I was
No,
going
sir.
to say. Oh, you guys, I do have something I do need to retract that I've said in the past. Not retract, but y'all know, I don't know why this just came up, but y'all know my issues with delivery sushi.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So the other night when we were over at Heather Gay's house, Jen Shaw wanted a snack, so she pulled out some delivery sushi that was in the fridge and started eating it.
I did have
and
one
then
piece.
Hunter ate it with them. And then Jennifer and Hunter both pressured me to eat it also. And I didn't want to make a bad impression
It
on
was
Jen
such
Shaw.
peer pressure too. Like we were ordering you to eat a piece.
So I ate it, and it was delicious, I will say. It was really good. But nonetheless, I ate delivery sushi.
Old man Rambo over here.
All right.
Welcome.
Ew, this is disgusting.
Yes,
Okay, Okay, so when Gabriella comes in and she's like, oh my God, why are we wearing the same sweatpants? I was like, oh my God, you're such a teenager.
a teenage girl. Like, ew, mom, gross.
So they call Joe Judice, Joe Judice, Joe whatever you want to call him, and he's selling sex toys now.
Amen.
And Teresa's going into business with him.
Amen. Get
You
it.
know what? They have to support their 4 daughters.
Our 4 daughters.
They have to support their 4 daughters.
Our 4 daughters.
So Teresa is planning a celebration of life party for her dad, and then there was just a really lovely scene showing Nono and his family. Mm-hmm. It was really quite lovely.
This whole Teresa's dad sequences are making me cry.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying it because it's too sad.
Yeah, it is.
It's really sad because I saw that season, so I'm like reliving those feelings and knowing that he's gone now. Like it's too sad. I don't like watching those scenes, but I understand why Teresa is so emotional about leaving the house that you grew up in with all those memories.
Yeah, but when I see those scenes, I just really see a lot of warmth.
So much
family to me has been a very different definition of the conventional family of what theirs is. Like my mom and my stepdad, we lived far away from the rest of our family. So seeing how I don't really relate to a family unit of blood that is like unconditional love.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that for me.
Family means a lot to so many people, and it's really important to be around and close to your family.
Yeah.
No matter how far they are, still give them a reach. Give them a call, people. If you have a brother, sister, aunt, uncle, your mother, father that you haven't talked to in a while, pick up the phone after this podcast and go talk to them.
You guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to call my brother.
Oh, gosh, I'm going to call my sisters.
But instead, actually, let's go talk about, we're going over to David's house. Kind of David and Dolores' house, but David's house officially.
This flower arrangement blew me away.
You better use some flowers.
It was a magical kingdom.
Seriously, I felt like I was walking into like a flower conservatory type
the
situation.
flowers hanging from the ceilings,
Yeah,
that was
beautiful.
Woo! I was like, dang, that was gorgeous.
So I was a little disappointed to find out that Dolores didn't get to go to like a real big ceremony.
Me too, because it's so important.
And you know what? It didn't even dawn on me that this is COVID. They're not going to have a big ceremony. But then when I saw that they didn't get to have a big ceremony, I was like, oh. But I really loved that her family. I mean, Gabby came to town for her to receive an award in her own home.
My favorite part of her receiving this award was Frank crying.
I know.
Big guys cry too. Big guys have feelings, people.
Yeah, we do.
It's okay to cry.
Absolutely,
It doesn't make you any less of a man. It means you're even bigger of a man. Or anybody.
But you know who wasn't at the awards ceremony? David.
Where's David when we need him?
And when David shows up, I'm like, oh, great, here comes Bummer David.
Right.
I don't like it.
Jennifer Aiden shows up looking fierce with that little one-piece jumpsuit and her fanny pack.
And the fan. Oh, yeah. I'm loving all the pink outfits in this episode, except for Jackie's, because she didn't wear pink at all, she looked like a bruise.
Oh, my God, I didn't even think about that.
She showed up, and I was like, great, you ruined it. The continuity of all of it.
Jennifer Aiden spends a lot of time just confused about Dolores and David's relationship. And
I think a lot of those women do.
I think most of the world is, but it really is just the more I think, and I do think about it probably more than I should, but it just really does make sense, especially, again, if you haven't listened to Dolores's interview on the Daily Dish podcast, and it was literally like at the beginning of this season, like almost a month, probably a month ago, I understood Dolores a lot more after listening to that.
Yeah, they're really, she's... You know what? There's so many different types of relationships out there. You get yours, Dolores. I'm not going to question it anymore.
You can't fight the DNA.
It's nice to see Jackie with the ladies again, to be honest with you. Outside, again, I've put the re-birthday party out of my mind the best I can. As far as I'm concerned, Jackie hasn't been with the ladies since the beginning of the season.
Thank God Teresa's not there, because this whole event would have get turned on to about Teresa and Jackie, and I wouldn't like that. Jennifer orders a sensible water with ice. She's had enough of drinking.
Good girl. And Margaret's glad, too. Margaret's really glad, too. And then the ladies, the ladies like, Dolores, so why don't you live here? And Dolores like, look, I'm happy being single-ish.
Yeah, I'm liking this situation that I'm in right now. Wasn't planned, but it worked.
And again, it might be a defense mechanism, but it seems to be working, so it works.
Dolores is more charitable than the pastor, Mary Cosby.
Being a first lady, you lead by example.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to say that. I just saw it in my notes, and I just feel like I just had to blurt that out real quick, because I didn't know if I was going to have another opening. But I just wanted to say that. And also that her closet is bigger than our bedroom.
Her closet's as big as most of our condo. Holy cow. And my condo's not that small, but her closet.
To be honest, I thought the closet was going to be more fuller.
Well, like but something in the middle, like like one of those round posh things that you sit on.
But that's at David's house.
Yeah.
So that's not even her full wardrobe.
No, she said it's just her red carpet clothes. Bitch. I don't know if you said that loud enough for people to hear, but you just went, bitch.
Oh, that's hot. Like, I want to have closets in different area codes with different wardrobe pieces.
But Mary Cosby does that too.
Sure. I don't want to be the Mary Cosby.
Melissa asked Dolores how often she and David have sex, but Dolores is a lady.
And she's old school. Listen, that's none of your business.
Yeah.
That's why I think her and Frank have had sex at least once or twice, a couple times here and there. Like a sprinkling. Not casual.
Listen,
like
we cannot impose our fantasies on Dolores' reality. We are not allowed to impose our fantasies on Dolores' reality.
This is not my fantasy right here.
No, I mean, I don't like sexually fantasize about Dolores and Frank having sex, but
I fantasize about Frank having sex.
No, but I'm just saying that I fantasize in general, not while I'm touching myself.
You like a sausage every now and again.
I don't eat that while I'm touching myself. Oh my God. I'm not doing this to touch myself. I'm moving on.
I want a drink.
Well, they get to talk about the shore and who's going to stay with whom, and I'm glad they got that all figured out.
Oh, yes.
Because if Jackie and Teresa had to stay in the same home, that would have been ugly.
So now we get the montage of all the ladies getting packed for the trip and all the kids helping.
Did you hear Gabby call Dolores' swimsuit a stripper from Alabama? And then Gia's like, Mom, why don't I have those designer bathing suits?
Sean, my boobs are too big.
Yeah, that's
my
right.
boobs are way bigger.
That's why. And then how cute is it that Jennifer's son is helping her pick out shoes?
I like that too. I think it's... I don't know, because I feel like I'm that kind of little kid. Like, it's important for that little kid to have an opinion about what your mom's going to wear.
Well,
I think it means a lot to them because they want to feel important. They want to feel like they have style.
And plus, if he's showing an interest, she doesn't want to poo-poo that either.
Yeah, she'd be like, no, honey, that's a summer wear.
Yeah,
sandal.
I mean,
That's
she
not
has a
beach
gay
wear."
brother, so if she had a gay son, she'd probably be thrilled about it.
Oh,
you know?
yes, I love that.
Yeah, so I thought that was really fun. Not that enjoying women, having an opinion on women's shoes make you gay, but
No.
I just like that. You know, in a culture that she grew up in, where there's various stereotypes, it
Very
was just nice
stereotypical,
that,
yeah.
that didn't happen. So Joe bringing Antonia into Melissa with her little tiny top.
This made me laugh so hard because it's not even a tiny top.
Listen, Britney Spears was dressing exactly like that in the early 2000s. It's
No.
It's back.
No, she was not. She wore the low-cut jeans.
Well,
the
yeah.
high-waisted 90s jeans are back in style right
Sure.
now. Did you see her jeans almost covered up half of her belly button?
Oh, but the
And
fact that her
Joe's
belly button was showing,
Joe's
that was
like,
the problem.
no, sir. And Melissa's like, Joe. She's not.
like, she looks cute. She's not a slut. Let her
She's
go.
wearing jeans.
And she's wearing what all the girls are wearing.
all the girls, and she's going out to dinner with her girlfriend.
Yeah, don't tell Melissa Gorga not to dress like all the girls are
Poor
wearing.
Joe. These
He
girls
can't
are
take
going to
it.
kill him.
Like, he really thought that Melissa was going to be on his side.
Oh, yeah, he 100% thought that.
So old school.
Poor Joe, he's so old school.
So all of the couples are talking about Evan and Jackie coming. I'm sure I can't imagine the tension for everybody. And then Bill tells Jennifer that Joe Bonino had already said at boys' night, guys' night, whatever it was called, that he had already heard the rumor. And so Jennifer immediately translates that to mean that Margaret knew and didn't tell Jackie. So now Margaret's not a good friend to Jackie. That's, again, a little bit of
It's
the old
too
peeking
much.
through
Yeah.
a little bit, but so far so good.
So far, so good. Not bad. Margaret and her dog have a UTI.
No.
The car is jam-packed with luggage.
Well, Jackie packed for like 3 weeks.
Oh, my gosh,
For a 2-day
yep.
trip.
Yep.
Easy. Jackie is not easy. Boy.
She's might be a little OCD. And then we find out that out of the divorce, pretty much all that Frank got was the shore house. It's kind of the only thing that he asked for. And he was like, trust me. He's like, trust me, Dolores didn't lose anything in this divorce.
I try. Yeah, I feel like that. That's totally how it happened.
And then, Jennifer Aiden feels that Margaret or Dolores' situation is because of a lack of self-worth.
And I don't think that's true.
Because Dolores is telling Teresa, Teresa, you deserve a man who's going to be great. You deserve a man who's going to come in and take care of you. And Jennifer's like, well, Dolores, that's what you deserve as well. But I think
Dolores does. She has two men at her beck and call.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just because you don't have a ring on it doesn't mean that
Jennifer, take a couple notes.
And then and we find out on the way there that Teresa's going to give Jackie a gift tonight. And I knew exactly, I could have written it down and predicted exactly what would happen.
I had no idea what was going to happen.
I had
no clue.
I knew what the gift was going to be. I didn't realize she was going to give one to everyone. We'll get to that. But I knew what the gift was going to be, and I knew exactly what she was going to say. Not that Teresa is predictable in some ways, but who doesn't love that? All right, we get back to Melissa and Joe's shore house. They've spent 2 episodes at the shore house. No kids. Joe's excited.
Amen.
He wants to get busy before everyone comes over.
Right away. He's like, nobody's here. Let's do this.
Have a little quickies. We're here all alone.
I mean, when you're in like a place that's not your home, like hotel rooms, and it just makes you feel randy.
Does anyone feel like we're beating a dead horse? Yeah.
But geez, he's like peeking up her skirt and stuff while she's trying to unload
With
the
the fly
groceries.
sweater.
Yeah, and she's just like, please God, let my friends get here soon.
I'd be like, don't put those dead flies on my skin. Dolores, or Frank's Jersey Shore home, I guess, but we'll call it Dolores' home for now, is huge.
It's a very big.
Everyone who has like these vacation homes at the shore or in New York, maybe the Hamptons, normally it's like a 1-story ranch type thing. But I mean, this is like at least 3, I would say.
Enough to house all those women and stuff. But Frank is such a gentleman. He's
these-
like, ladies, you go and get settled. I got this. I got the rest of the luggage.
He might sleep around on you, but he will carry on your bags and open your door.
That's, you know what?
You're like, I'll take
I'll
it.
take it from you.
Did you see the pineapple on the counter?
I said, and right away when Frank unpacks stuff, there are 5 pineapples. That is disgusting. Because I know what it's for now.
Yeah.
It's for Teresa.
Yeah. Gross.
And she's trying to make everybody else taste better.
And then when they get to, when Margaret's car shows up to the Gorgas, then Joe unpack the car.
Joe,
again.
make sure to put on a cute pink sensible hat. This is the pink sensible unpacking hat.
Yes, this pink sensible unpacking hat.
Yes.
I love that.
That's cute. Jackie's luggage is bigger than Joe Gorga. When he was lugging that up the thing, I was like, Joe, that thing's bigger than you. Probably weighs more than you too.
Another thing I love about New Jersey that's different from the other ones is because family to them, it means cooking together.
I said the ladies getting ready for dinner, all those Italian women making food together and laughing. And they're all got like something that they all know what they're doing. It's like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like family.
Can you imagine how good it smelled?
No.
Oh my gosh.
It was exciting. There was a sad moment, talking about, because they call and they're like, hey, Teresa, somebody wants to look at your house already.
Come on, let's do this.
And, Teresa's relationship with her girls is pretty powerful.
It's intense, and the montage going back, like, it made me like, Teresa, don't sell the house. You have too many memories. But the kids are all smart. They all know that you can't dwell on past memories. You got to love those memories, but it's time for a new chapter, a new adventure. I like that.
Well, now that Jennifer told Teresa on the way up here about Joe Bonino supposedly hearing the news, Teresa's feeling very validated.
Oh, yeah. I hated this part because right away I was like, well, now it's finally over. She's gone too far past. She's gotten one person on her side now that has encouraged this. So now it's all guns blazing now. She ain't going to put those guns away. It's over. It's over.
And True says, Margaret's my friend. She's on my turf.
She has already peed in all the corners of that house. She's marked it. Everything smells like pineapple. That's her house.
Okay, so this episode for you probably should have been called Frank Outside Smoking a Cigar.
Oh, Frank is smoking cigars so hot. And he's like rolling the cigar in his mouth while he cooks.
You guys, pardon my disgusting husband.
It's one thing to throw me in the shower. It's another thing trying to grab my balls.
Hell hath no fury like a woman whose sauce you let burn. But I would say, could you imagine if Frank let that sauce burn, how Dolores would come about? It would have been like Bronwyn hitting Sean, but with more rage.
She would have taken the ladle and beat him with it.
Yes.
But his
and Frank would have been down on the ground.
But he's still got the cigar in his mouth. Yeah, he does.
I'm not having this conversation with you, you weirdo.
We finally find out that Jennifer's dad went to Turkey. The mom wouldn't go because the dad went.
Gosh, again, you are putting your issues on an infant. This child isn't going to get to this experience with you. Your son isn't going to get to have this experience to show you his life because of your
hard-headedness,
your stubbornness.
Yes.
Yeah, it's too much, and it's really unnerving for me because this whole thing has been about, like, a lot of people have been lost, like family members, like especially in Salt Lake City, people's fathers were lost and dead, and in New Jersey, the parents are dead now, and so it's like, enjoy the time that you have with your family.
Yeah. I'm with Joe Gorga. We're on vacation. Let's pour a roadie on our way out the door.
100%
Gorgas want to party.
100% you.
And I'm like, they're all like,
what are you? And I love it. She's like, what are you, 12? I'm like, was he drinking at 12? Oh yeah, he was drinking at 12. But yeah, that is you. Like if you ever get to meet the Gorga, Joe Gorga, I am going to be so excited.
Me too. We're going to have a good night. I didn't realize how much Dolores loved Joe Bonino. She's like, my boyfriend.
I didn't know that either.
That was sweet.
I thought it was really cute.
Frank's boat is the only thing bigger than his arms. That boat. Holy cow. She said, Dolores says that his boats always cost more than his houses. Oh my God. All right, we're not talking about Frank anymore for the rest of this episode. We don't have time for your foolishness. So then Teresa comes down and gives everyone a gift bag.
I was so nervous that she wasn't going to give a bag to Jackie. Like, I was really nervous that she was going to give, like, another stupid random gift to her, not part of
what everyone else got.
Everyone got.
Oh, no, I knew she was going to do it. I just didn't realize everyone else was going to do it.
Boom! Everybody gets vibrators!
And Margaret's response is, oh, this matches my eyes. I love it.
Why else do you buy?
Oh, my God, this is a giant vibrator that will never fit inside anything of mine. It was, oh, my God, it matches my eyes.
And did you realize they already came juiced up? Like, they already had power on them.
Yeah, because Margaret turned on. Joe is panicking.
Joe his whole world is falling apart right now, seeing these vibrators that are made for women.
Well, because his biggest fear is that Melissa will get a vibrator and not have as much sex with him. You know I'm not kidding.
I didn't even think about that. But that is 100% why he's panicking.
Absolutely. He's like, what? You gave my wife a vibrator? What?
Come on, bro.
You mean there's going to be a moment that I can't do that?
How quick do you think that vibrator, quote unquote, goes missing all of a sudden once it gets home and you find it buried in behind someone's backyard with a bullet hole in it?
No, they just put it in the trash and then you were in the back looking through the trash, sniffing around. So, Gorga, is that you?
You hear the trash vibrate and you're like, what is in here?
And again, I knew exactly that Teresa was going to tell Jackie to stick the vibrator up her ass. I knew it. As soon as she said she was giving her a bag, in my head I went, she's giving her a vibrator and she's going to tell her to stick it up her ass.
Boom, right away.
And all the women are like, Teresa, stop!
Everybody's tired of it.
Yeah, but Jackie's like, oh,
thank God, Jackie.
I'm not engaging. She didn't say I'm not engaging.
Because if you react, you're giving Teresa ammo.
Yeah, but Teresa's like, I gave her an olive branch and she didn't take it. And everyone's like, no, Teresa, putting her in a group text is not really extending an olive branch. To be honest with you, I thought inviting her in general was extending an olive branch.
No, I think if she invited her separately on a text, that's an olive branch. But first of all, she did a group text and she didn't even write it. And all she did was talk shit about Jackie while Melissa was writing it.
Well, Teresa got out of her system now, so she says.
Do you think she got it out of her system?
They can all move on now.
Okay.
And then the rest of the episode is everyone just worried that Jackie's going to break. Jackie's going to cry. You guys are going to make Jackie cry. Look, Jackie's on the verge of tears. You guys, Jackie.
Yeah, and Jackie's like, you guys, I'm not letting this affect me.
She's like, I'm not that much of a frail person, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I was when my husband was mad at me, but Teresa is in the mood to argue tonight.
Oh my, she's arguing with Melissa.
She tells Melissa to shut up. And Melissa was defending her husband.
Yes.
And then thanks, Melissa. Is there anything else that anyone else needs to get off their chest? So then Teresa, of course, brings up Joe Bonino talking at boys' night about the rumor and Margaret.
Oh my gosh.
Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt.
Margaret flips out.
And especially when Jennifer confirms that Bill had said it also, Margaret dives into Jennifer for no reason.
For no reason, and it was uncalled for.
Yeah, it really was not necessary, but Margaret was just...
But Margaret's so funny. She's like, Joe, did you hear it? No. See, there.
What was he going to do? Admit that he had heard it?
I know, and I wanted to see it. I wish the camera was focusing on the boys during this whole thing, because all the boys are just kind of sitting back and just looking at each other for a second and then looking away.
What happens at guys' night stays at guys' night.
Because they all know he said it.
Yeah, absolutely. He did say it. We all know he said
Those
it.
boys stick together. They're not gonna budge.
And my favorite part, though, was when Jackie's like, you know what, you are horrible to everyone, not just me. And Teresa's like, Dolores, am I horrible to you? No. Jennifer, am I horrible to you? No. Margaret, am I horrible to you? Well, you did have my hair pulled. Melissa, am I horrible to you? You called me a stripper.
If every single one of the women had one thing to say, I would have lost it. I would have lost it.
I know. I was kind of hoping that they would.
Oh my gosh, it's so... And she's like, all right, I'll give you that.
And then we get to the typical part of any adolescent argument is when both people say, well, I don't want to be friends with you anyway.
I know.
I don't like you. I don't want to know you
Oh,
anyway.
well, that's good.
And Teresa's like, yeah, because I don't like you because you're not a confident woman like I am. And I like to be around confident women. And then the episode ends with, well, did you get that confidence in jail?
She knows how to pick her buttons.
Oh, she's talked about Gia. She talked about jail. I mean, and you know when Italian people go to jail, you don't say the word jail. You say they went away.
Oh.
Like that's part of like the etiquette. They've talked about in earlier seasons.
Oh, I didn't
like
know
you
that.
don't say the word jail, you call it went away. So Jackie's like, would your husband have been in jail if you could control him? Ooh. Did you get your confidence in jail? Get it, Jackie.
Keyword.
I mean, Teresa is queen of Housewives. I mean, I'm not putting her as a number
Andy
one.
Cohen said that.
Yeah, Andy Cohen just recently said that he would likely give the all-time greatest housewife award to Teresa. So that's amazing. So I would be, and it's because she's got balls. I mean, so for Jackie to go up against her, she's clearly got a set of cojones herself. Yeah. All right. Well, maybe a little bit of a supersized episode, but luckily we got to squash some story this week. We got to perpetuate some other interesting story this
And we
week.
still have no idea. I think this dinner party right now is where Joe flips out. So I think this next episode is the episode where Joe like pounds on the table like really scarily like.
Yeah, give these people liquor. And
I think there's going to be another storyline coming through. I hope to God, because I'm bored with these storylines right now.
yeah, with Jackie and Teresa.
Yeah, I'm bored with it.
Everyone, the women themselves are over.
Yeah, I'm over it.
All right. Well, please don't get over us. So join us again next week. We will promise we'll be back next week.
Yes.
But thank you all so much for joining us this week. I've had a blast talking about these episodes.
Absolutely.
Well, in the meantime, make sure to follow us on all of our socials. On Instagram and Facebook, we are The Real Housebears. On Twitter, we are Real Housebears. And you can email us at therealhousebears@gmail.com.
We are also on YouTube. We post a couple little clips of our live shows. Well, not live shows. We're just recording it while we're doing it. And we are also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and basically
Anchor
FM. Anywhere that you listen to your podcast, you will find us. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers all about The Real Housebears.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Test?
Test.
Where have you been?
I'm in the closet.
Let's see. I don't even know what to say about that.